Vibe Show 97.9. Man, tonight is really a special night. I'm super excited about it. Like, we got tons of emails been pouring in tonight. We definitely have a treat for y'all tonight. I know I say that a lot, but tonight is very, very special. We have a queen on here that's really making some major headlines. They're doing some amazing things. So you definitely want to keep it locked in. It's the Vibe Show 97.9. Keep it locked. Vibe Show 97.9. Welcome. I'm your host, Kano the Don, the Vibe King. Y'all already know the vibes. Tonight is a magical night. I'm super excited. Everybody's been super excited since we put this advertisement out there. It's truly amazing. And I'm personally excited about this. Tonight we have a super special guest. I'm talking about actor, Universal model, Miss Universe model, who graced the cover of Harper's Bazaar, FHM, and the legendary Playboy magazine. I'm talking about the one and only Dora Rodriguez. Let's get her in here.
Hi.
What's up?
How are you?
Listen, I got my Kool-Aid smile on. I'm smiling big. This is big. For me and the Vibe team, Vibe Promotions, and all of our fans, we want to thank you so much for this amazing opportunity.
Oh, thank you so much for inviting me. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Now, listen, I'm excited. We got a lot to talk about here now because I had time to do my research. And funny thing is, I always say this. I love social media because I think that, it has its bad moments, but I think it's a good tool because it allows us an opportunity to connect with so many different amazing people all over the world. And that's how I got connected with you. Actually, I think we might have liked the same post or something like that, and then I ended up seeing you put an interesting comment, and I was just like, yo, wow. So of course we go explore, and then I saw your page and I was just like, yo, this is amazing. So I started doing my research and I was like, yo, she have really done so many different amazing things, and I just thought that it was inspiring and would be so amazing to hopefully get you on the show. And look at how God works. You are here today. So thank you so much. This is huge.
Oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate you guys reaching out and having me on your platform. You have a huge platform, so all my respect to you, what you've created.
We're trying. We're doing our best here. So thank you so much for that. Now, with everything that you have accomplished, we can't I don't want to dive in it. An opportunity to actually get to know you and know your journey and your story, because it's been a long journey, and you are still making moves and following your dream and really accomplishing a lot of things. So I would like to start with you being born in Peru, and now Talk to me about growing up there.
Sure. So I was born in Peru, actually, in the Amazonian jungle. So I wasn't even born in Lima. I wasn't born in Tacna. I wasn't born in these bigger cities of Peru. I just happen to have a very adventurous father who isn't from Peru. He's from Spain, and he's a naturalized Canadian as well. And he just ventured out to Peru at one point in his life because he had made some money through his company. And he's like, I want to invest in South America. I've heard great things of this place. I want to go explore it. So he first went to Argentina, then he went to Peru, and he invested in properties and he started businesses there. And this is how he met my mother.
Ah,
My mother was born in Peru. But not in the jungle, though. She's a city girl. And somehow he was able to convince her to take him. He's a very
Pops had the charm. Pops had the charm. We got to give Pops his credit.
very beautiful, beautiful woman. So yes, so that's kind of how it happened. Myself and my three other siblings, we were born in Peru in this way because my father was there at the time and he met my mother. But I didn't actually grow up there. We left Peru when I was only about 2 months old and we moved to Canada. The reason being is because these horrible earthquakes were happening at the time in Peru, and a lot of devastation was happening at the time. And so my parents kind of got scared and they're like, well, we don't really want to raise our kids here if it's not going to be a place that's stable. And my dad was already Canadian. So he's like, well, let me make sure my whole family becomes Canadian as well. And we will go to Canada and we will live our life there for the time being. And that's how we moved up to Canada when I was a baby, basically.
Right, right. Let me ask you this though. So that's interesting. So with making the move, which was a great decision made by your parents, definitely for safety's sake. Along the way, as far as like growing up and having this vision and this passion to be in the limelight, and because like I said, you modeling and you're an aspiring actress, you're doing so many different amazing things. Talk to me about what inspired those visions though. Did you have those visions at young, or was it some other people or family members that may have inspired you to want to capture that vision and go that route?
Well, basically my family in general, everyone is quite educated. Everyone either went to university or they're part of the military on both sides of my family. But my father actually, even though he never went into the arts, he's very artistic. He was always a businessman, so he did business and he did well for himself. But he had this artistic streak to him. He loved to sing and he's not shy at all. He's older because he was quite a bit older than my mother as well. So he's an older gentleman and he to this day will get up at a restaurant and start singing. And he doesn't care. Like he has this in him. And so me from a young age, out of all of my siblings, I've always loved performing, I guess. I've always loved modeling and dancing. I would dance for my family at our little reunions. I love singing. I love doing all these things. So although my parents always encouraged me to go to school first and foremost, and I did do that. I have a journalism degree, but basically I always knew that I needed to do something within the arts because it's what makes me happy. It's what makes me tick, So that's kind of how I got into that.
Now that's another interesting point because you could have actually taken a different route. And with having a journalism degree, let's talk about that a little bit because even in that space, it's a promising field and exciting and interesting too. With going and accomplishing getting that degree, talk to me about like because I'm pretty sure at that point you still had visions of being a journalist and going into that space. Were we thinking news or were we think?
So basically I told myself, I'm like, because I'm very family oriented. So to me, it's really important to, I guess, make my parents proud.
Right.
So I told myself, I'm like, I know that it's expected of me to go to school and get a degree. And the only thing that I would really want to do is journalism because I have a passion for writing. And I've always loved writing. And that, in my mind, it's still a part of the arts, right? You're still being creative. It's still a craft.
Right.
So I was just like, I'm going to go into journalism. First and foremost, because I love writing, but also you have the option of being a broadcast journalist. So you can do television, you can do radio. And in my mind, I'm like, I'll still get on TV this way because that's what I wanted to do. But in the back of my mind, I was still thinking, but I still want to actually be an actress and play different roles, different characters. Whereas being a broadcaster, you're more serious. Yes, you're on TV, but it's, you know, it's very edited and you have to be in a certain, you have to just portray yourself a certain way. And for me, that's a little bit limiting as well. You know, I like to be creative. So initially, yes, when I graduated university, I'm from the west coast of Canada, actually, from the Vancouver area. So I graduated university and I moved to Toronto because there's more television opportunities there. It's a bigger city, it's more vibrant, there's more happening. So I moved there, and actually quite quickly I was able to land a television job there because I speak Spanish fluently. So there's a Spanish TV station called TLN. It's very popular. So they hired me to be their on-location reporter in English and in Spanish because they didn't really have anyone that spoke it so fluently, like both languages so fluently. And then I was also doing voiceovers in both languages.
Wow.
Yeah. So I was doing that, but then I had already kind of in a way been scouted because I participated in the Miss Universe Canada pageant. And that's kind of, that platform enabled me to have talent agencies looking my way. So when I moved to Toronto, I got signed with a modeling agency and a talent agency, and then I started doing commercials. And then slowly I got involved with brands and then magazines and stuff like this.
Now, Dora, you're running on me now. I can't let you run because, I want them to be able to capture this because, you know, for all inspiring women and ladies and young girls, I just want them to be able to understand like the mindset that you had as well, because, you know, it sounds easy, but, you know, at the same time, it's still a lot of work that goes into it. So now the big break did come when you done the when you done the pageant. Now, talk to me about that experience, because that alone is magical and a dream for so many different people. Talk to me about that journey and that experience.
That journey, to me, I'll never forget that journey because it taught me a lot of different things. I know a lot of people, they think beauty pageants, it might be some cheesy thing and we all just save the world and everyone says this and whatever. But what they don't realize is the discipline that it teaches you. Because, for example, 6 months prior to the pageant, you're being trained. So you're being trained physically, you're being taught about nutrition, you're being, you basically, like for me, I used to be the type of girl that I love to go dancing. So I would go out bar and go dancing and stuff. You're a young girl and you do these things. So I cut all of that out of my life. I wouldn't drink. I didn't have a single drop of alcohol for almost a year, actually.
Wow.
I was in the best shape of my life then because of participating, or at least attempting to be the best possible version of myself. But it also taught me that there are other women out there that are so motivated and inspiring, and you would train with other girls that are a part of this. And yes, okay, there might be a little bit of cattiness because there are women that choose.
I was going to ask you that, Dora. I was going to ask you that because it is a competition.
It is a competition. But I also met other people that it wasn't about the competition. They just saw it as, this is a platform and I have certain goals in my life, and maybe getting on this platform is going to help me achieve that. It wasn't so much like, I'm going to rip your hair out and rip your weave out and I want to just win and whatever.
Right.
More, they saw it as, it's a platform and it's going to maybe benefit me to pursue my goals later. If I want to start a company or a brand later, I have the stage to talk about this, you know?
Right.
So I befriended the women that were more on that mindset. Um, and one of my really good friends, actually, she's gone on to be a part of the UN Women platform. So she's even done like speeches for United Nations in New York, like just amazing, amazing things. So it taught me that who you surround yourself with is very important. I believe that, you know, it takes a certain mindset and drive to achieve your goals. And although everybody is valid and everybody's lifestyle is valid, you should surround yourself with people that are kind of on that same path.
Mm.
That way you hold each other accountable. It's almost like having a gym partner. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
By yourself, and if you push yourself, that's amazing that you can do that. But say you have a gym buddy that also really wants to like reach these goals by a certain time or whatever. So if you surround yourself in life in general with people that also have goals, then it's just going to make it easier for you because you push each other. It's not so much about competing against each other, but working together to keep each other accountable, per se.
Right. I totally agree with you with that, because and I think that as you move along in life and you go through different experiences when you're trying to accomplish something, I think that theory is so true. I myself even went through that, because like when you're going through different phases in life, we come in, viewing it a certain way, excited about certain things, and we grew up a certain type of way, filled with love and spreading love and showing love, and then you get into these different environments, and then you're like, wait a minute. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like you learn, you like, well, why did they do that, or why did they say this, or and the saying, especially when a bunch of women get together or whatever, sometimes how catty it can be sometimes, because like you said, you got some women that be in there with a whole different agenda and mindset, like to I don't care, but I'm not trying to connect with you like that. I'm here to do what I have to do. So I definitely admire you for being able to just be able to acknowledge the different environments and the changes and the things that's necessary in order to be able to progress more in life. You do need to surround yourself with that. And that's not only with that, that's in life, period. I learned. Let me ask you this. So how did your parents feel? Because I mean, you made it to the you was a finalist, which is a huge accomplishment. How did your parents feel at that point?
Well, in all honesty, my parents were scared because they do understand the entertainment industry can be a positive thing or it can be a negative thing, right? So it really depends on the individual.
Right.
Although, I mean, they raised me in a way where, they raised me Christian and whatever. It doesn't mean that in adulthood I've continued like, I'm going to church every Sunday or anything like that, but they did raise me in a certain way. And they worried that maybe they just wanted to be sure that I would make the right decisions, because it is true that you get pulled in all these different directions and you see other people, not just in this pageant, just along the way of my whole career, there's people doing different things, or things that I don't necessarily think are the right things to do, right? So you are going to be faced with choices, and then it's as an individual to go down that path or to politely decline without judging anybody else, but just what works for you, So they were definitely scared. My mom, at first, she like really didn't want me to do these things. She didn't want me to put myself out there like that, because she worried like about bullying and stuff like that too, which I did receive bullying from people.
Now wait a minute. Now we gotta pause right there, D. Now tell me about this, because I don't want to miss things for people. Like, talk to me about that, because that's a big thing that's going on still presently right now. People experiencing a lot of bullying. Talk to me about your experience and how that may have made you feel.
Okay. Well, I feel like in today's age, because we all have a screen and we can all be anonymous behind the screen, it makes bullying, cyberbullying, really easy for people to do. Whereas back in the day when we didn't have all these things, even based on like my parents' generation or whoever else, no one could just say whatever they wanted about you. They had to like face you. You know what I mean?
Right.
Today's age, that doesn't happen. So anyone can create a fake account and write whatever they want under someone's photo, or they can, just because you put yourself out there, now all of a sudden they think that they're entitled to be the judge of that. Does she have a big chin? Does she have, like, they're judging you physically, then they judge you by how you speak. They judge you by every last thing about you. And they make up their mind about you when they don't even know you. They haven't met you, or if they've met you, it's been like 15 minutes and all of a sudden now they can speak on you, you know?
Right.
And so you have to have really thick skin, and you have to have a really good network of people that are supportive of you, that remind you, you can't believe everything that's being said about you. Like, you can't believe yourself those things. Like, you need to remember who you are, how you were raised, and your belief system. And then you learn to ignore the naysayers. And you actually learn another thing in the entertainment industry, that when people are talking, whether it be good or bad, it's actually benefiting you. I know it sounds crazy.
Well, it's the truth. You know what I mean? Like, you know, bad press sometimes is good press. You know what I mean? Like, absolutely. I definitely get that. Talk to me about because being a beautiful woman, you know, in the entertainment industry, could also be a good and bad thing too. You know, it's we all know that it's a, you know, predominantly male dominated industry. Talk to me about some of the protection mechanisms that, you know, and I know with you looking up to certain people and being inspired by, you know, actresses and other models, and, you know, we all are inspired by people, you know, but along the way too, it's a good thing with being able to see the blueprints of their journeys as well, and note some of the mistakes that they may have made in the industry, or certain things to watch out for, or whatever, while you're on your rise. Talk to me about that mental aspect.
Well, in my opinion, I believe that, you know, we only have a certain amount of time in the day, right? So if you're going to invest your time into studying someone, you should study someone that went down the path that you're trying to go, you know?
Right.
So for me, I'll look up people that are in their career and they're doing things. For example, now I've transitioned into acting, and tomorrow I'm filming my demo reel here in LA. But I've transitioned into acting. And for example, who do I look up to as actresses? I love Scarlett Johansson. I love Charlize Theron. I love Dora Rodriguez. Gloria. I love these women, and they're very strong, beautiful women too. And they also have like a sexy side to them, but I've watched their interviews, and they also say that they make it a point to not allow themselves to be hypersexualized. So you're a beautiful woman in the industry, and of course, the first thing that's going to come your way because of how you look is, you know, things that involves like showing skin and all these things, because that's what sells. And say a brand, they want you to do a collaboration, and they're going to pay you to do a post, or they're going to pay you to do something, and they know that maybe if you show a little bit of skin, it's going to get more hits, and it's going to get people going to their page more and buying things and whatever. And so in my opinion, I think if it's for that purpose, because that's a part of the business of entertainment, then okay, there's certain things that you can do on the sexier side, but you should always be mindful that you always have to follow that up with who you are as a person too. You should do interviews that showcase who you are. You should be involved in things that matter to you. You know what I mean? And you should let the world see that too. It's up to you to show that side of yourself too, not just your sexy side, because then you're only going to be boxed into that. And it's almost like that's all you are. And for certain women, we don't like that. We don't want to be boxed into only that, you know? Right.
I definitely get you on that. You know, I appreciate you touching on that because I just want people to understand, like, you know, the importance of being focused in
Mhm.
this entertainment business, because we've seen a lot of people, you know, get sucked in all the way, and it could be, we see them, you know, mentally just derail,
Yeah.
you know. So I really like, would you attribute it, your mindset, your focus, on your upbringing? Would we give mom and pops credibility on that too, that you carried that on, you're carrying that with you on your journey?
Mhm. I'm trying to. I mean, I'm trying to make them proud of me, and my mom has slowly opened up as well. Well, both of them, you know, because they're kind of old school.
Right, right, right.
They because they have conversations with me, and I visit my family as often as I possibly can. Um, they have conversations with me, and I explain to them things. Like I was just on this Netflix show, which is like it's a funny show, so it's meant to be a little bit ridiculous, and it's meant to entertain the masses and make you laugh and make you smile and whatever.
Congratulations on that too. I was going to touch on that. Congratulations. It was dope.
Thanks. So when you're doing things like that was reality TV, and then obviously there's acting, which is the characters. So you're giving us a script, and it's not about you. You're just playing a completely different character. But when you do reality TV, it's you, but you also like exaggerate things about you because you're trying
Right,
to make it. The whole purpose of it is to entertain people, and you want the audience to really engage, and you want people to come watch the show. So
right,
you're going to make it a little bit like ridiculous and oh, I was on the cover of Playboy. Like you say these
right,
things,
right, right.
whatever, you know what I mean? But like
Yeah.
you're playing it up a little bit because that's the purpose of it. It's reality TV. And like people need to remember this too. You don't know someone that you see on TV unless you actually spend time with them.
Right, right. I totally agree with you on that. Now, speaking of the cover, let's talk about, because you know you've been modeling, you've graced some big magazines.
Mhm.
Let's talk about it. You did the legendary Playboy South Africa.
Mhm.
You did that cover, which I went and checked that out as well. Your layout was absolutely stunning. It was amazing.
Thank
Um,
you.
Now, you know, I want to tie this into, we gotta bring moms and pops along on this interview as well, because I feel like you said they're coming around, but like you said, they are from a different era, and they, you know, view things
Yeah.
differently.
Mhm.
Now with, you know, getting this amazing opportunity, talk to me how this amazing opportunity came, and can we share a little bit of the experience, and then I would like to, on the back end, hear how moms and pops, what they thought about that.
So the experience for someone like me, how when the opportunity came my way, me being me, I'm a little bit of a nerd. Google is my best friend. I start Googling things and I'm just like, okay, I want to make sure that people don't think I'm a hypersexualized bimbo per se. Like I just didn't want that. So I'm like, let me, before saying yes to this, let me research a little bit. And so I researched and I realized that A-list actresses that are very reputable, that people respect and everything, like Sharon Stone, even Charlize Theron, or fashion models like Kate Moss or Naomi Campbell, they were
Farrah, all of them.
as well. And so it got me thinking, I'm like, just because you do that, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to be typecasted, but it is a good platform. Playboy, the brand is huge. It's
Right.
huge internationally. You have the US Playboy and you have all their subsidiaries across the world, you know?
Right. And I didn't know that. I didn't know that. I would like to, before you continue, let me show this amazing cover. This was beautiful. Check this out. Wow. That was amazing.
They make you look good too, I must say. There's always a team that makes you look amazing. But yeah, that actual cover was shot in Laguna Beach in Orange County, California. That was right before the pandemic, actually. No one
Right. I read that.
was
That
coming.
was, yeah.
Like, but no, the shoot was amazing. It was a full day shoot. It was exhausting. I flew in specifically for this. I had a great team. great photographer, great makeup artist, stylist. It's people that shoot for Playboy specifically, Maxim and FHM. So they know the niche, and they were like, it was nice in that way because they knew like, okay, we're going to do this, this, this. This is where we're going to go for the pictures. This is how we want you to pose and whatever, you know. And but I made it very clear that I'm not into fully nude.
Yeah, I
Full
was going to ask you about that.
I don't do that. Just because it's not something that I want to do, because I am transitioning into acting. And again, I don't want to be typecasted. Like I want to be able to do all types of roles.
Right.
So I was just like, okay, I'm okay doing swimsuit. I'm okay doing certain types of lingerie as long as everything's tasteful and there's nothing explicit. And to me, it's about body positivity as well, because when you're in this industry, you're judged so much by your looks. So people don't realize the amount of effort that it takes to maintain yourself, to learn about nutrition, to be working out all the time, to count your calories, because I'm not going to sit here and say I eat whatever I want every single day and I stay slim. No, like it takes a lot of effort. Yesterday was my cheat day. Actually, it was Sunday. So a little bit. But no, it takes a huge amount of effort. So in my mind, I think it's okay to do certain shoots like this, and to be like, yeah, look at all the effort that I put into taking care of myself, which is a positive thing. It's a motivational thing. So in that sense, I think it's okay to do something like that. But I would never want to cross the line of going overboard or being explicit or that kind of thing, just because I'm focused on showing that I'm a talented person and like I can play a character acting and stuff like this. So
Right. I love that. Now, you know, and you spoke on that, but I like how you said you believe in body positivity and to prove women can be sexy, and intellectual at the same time. That's dope right there. You talked about it. Can we elaborate on that a little bit more? Because I want women to understand that, because, you know, and like you said, I'm not trying to judge nobody here, you know what I mean? But, you know, with social media, you know, you can't even really log on, you know, without seeing. Do you feel it's over popularized or what? Just your perspective.
So unfortunately for women, we are categorized like from the day that you're born, throughout your whole life. You have the media and you have all this pressure, and you have men that you date as well. They're going to categorize you right away, depending on your behavior, depending on what they've seen, depending on, they're going to be like, okay, well, she's either the wifey or she's just like whatever, you know. And to me, I find that unfair. I mean, I try to understand everybody and I try to see things from different people's perspectives. And so I guess I think a lot of men can be very afraid, like for a man to commit to a woman, that's like a really big thing to a man. So they might be afraid to commit to someone that doesn't seem very serious, you know, because there could be.
How do you feel though, Dora? Now, well, I like where we at right now here. Let's touch on this now, because you know I'm not gonna say I'm the spokesman for the men, but let's me and you talk here now. Okay, so how do you tell though? Because the way that the world is, maybe once upon a time, you know, we could probably kind of tell, but now it's like it's on another level now. You know, it's on another level, and it's like, how do you tell, you know, it's a good man or a good woman or whatever? I mean, do we just, you know, go through the experience? I mean, everybody's kind of on guard right now. You know, you can't even really say hey to somebody in a DM anymore without, you know, oh, he's trying, you know, you know what I mean? Like, how do you get a conversation? How do one get are you approachable, or like, what's your standpoint on it?
In terms of my dating life, my social media is bad for my dating life, to be honest. So because if someone DMs me, even myself, I'm already on guard, because I'm thinking, well, are they just DMing me because they see some nice pictures, they see what I'm up to, it's appealing to them, but they're just trying to maybe use me for a fun time. And that's something I guard myself against, because it doesn't make me feel good. So in my opinion, I think it's better to meet someone organically, like sign up to things that you like to do. And then you'll meet people that are kind of on the same page, that they have the same interests. And don't tell them your social media right away. Let them get to know you organically, have a conversation with you and stuff. And then once they have a feel for that, then if you want to show them your social media, then that's great. But I get a lot of guys that unfortunately are a little bit intimidated.
I was gonna ask you that too. I mean, come on, Dora, let's keep it real. I mean, you're gorgeous. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, what a guy's supposed to do here? You're thinking to yourself like, she's gonna shoot me down. I'm not, I'm not on her level. I mean, God, we deal with a lot too. Just, trying to figure this
I know.
thing
And
out,
I try really hard to think what the guy's thinking too, not just see it from my perspective. Because I feel like in life, in order to be successful, you have to put yourself in other people's shoes as well.
Right.
So I think what you shouldn't say to me is DM me and be like, I know you're probably not going to read this because you probably have hundreds of guys messaging.
Oh no.
You shouldn't say that, because right away you're already kind of like, you're telling me that you have assumptions.
Right.
You're showing that you're not that confident. Like, I think in men and women, confidence is an attractive trait, right? So I think initially, if you are going to DM me, you should probably introduce yourself like a normal person, not send me emojis, not, you know what I mean? Like, just as if it was an organic interaction, because I do understand that social media can be a good thing too, because it enables you to like see people on there that you wouldn't normally see like anywhere on the street or whatever, right? But you should approach it properly. I'm still a human being. It doesn't matter if I do photo shoots or if I've been doing like these cool things or I was on Netflix or whatever. You should talk to me like a normal person, like very neutral. I don't know. And then we can go from there, or maybe bring something up of interest of you, or be like, hey, I have this event that's happening or whatever. I don't know. I'm looking for a +1. Did you want to come? Did you want to do, like, just be normal? And that's the thing. Like, people are so worried with when they assume that you have so many people in your DMs, they're trying to be different. So another thing that guys do is they'll try to lower your self-esteem because they think, oh, she must be like full of herself. So be different and not compliment her. Let me try to act like she's nothing. And that, to me, that's very challenging. When they're in elementary school, pulling on the girls' pigtails that they like.
Yeah. That's funny, Dora.
But that happens as well. But no, I think you should just be yourself and you should be neutral. And don't get me wrong, I've gotten nervous around certain types of guys too. Like my guy is the guy that's really motivated and really driven. That's like in his masculine energy that makes me want to bring out my feminine energy. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So
that makes sense.
That type of guy. But then certain guys mistake that with being like, oh, masculine energy, that means I need to be a dick. And it's like,
Right.
Masculine energy meaning that you're confident and you have things going on for yourself. You're not just wasting your time chasing an assortment of women all the time to be able to brag about it with your friends. Like, you have a purpose and you have a drive and you see yourself building a future for yourself to later share with like your wife and children. Like, that's how I see it. And that's very attractive to me.
Right. So I helped people out here. You guys got some side tips, you know what I mean? So you can thank me later. Now, let me ask you this. I got to ask you about the Drake and Kanye thing. I thought that was just off the charts here now. So what inspired you to tap in on that and put that post up?
Well, I thought it was really funny to see their feud. I thought it was hilarious that I'm from Toronto. So at the time this was all happening, I was actually in Toronto.
Oh, wow. Talk to me about that vibe.
So
I come over there and put up a whole bunch of
competing. This goes to show how men can be. They were competing with billboards and stuff because they both released new music, a new album around the same time. So they were, Drake is from Toronto. So Kanye was trying to outdo him in his own city with bigger billboards and all this stuff, you know? So to me, I thought it was so hilarious to see that dynamic that I'm just like,
Right.
let me touch upon this and let me just like post about this because it's going to be funny, you know?
Right.
A lot
Right.
of people were talking. It was like a trending topic. And I thought it was a really funny thing to go do. And I was like, because I'm Canadian as well, of course I have to support Drake. So
Right.
his billboard was coming out. I was all smiley and happy. And then when Donda, that billboard came out, the Kanye West one, I was like, sad face. Like,
Right. Right.
yeah, it's because of that. Like, it was just, I thought it was really funny because in real life, men do tend to be that way. They're very competitive and they're driven by testosterone and whatever. And to women, because we tend to, well, I shouldn't say because women can be competitive too, but
Very much so.
to some of us, it's funny when they do get that way because they get all like gladiator style competitive,
Right.
you know, and
Right.
it's funny.
Right. I thought that was dope though. I had to ask you about that. Now, another thing that really touched me was also your passion and involvement with charity work, you know, in the SOS Children's Village organization, and you being an advocate for women's rights. Can we touch on that? Because I think that that's very, very important.
Sure. So I was introduced to the SOS charity when I participated in the Miss Universe pageant.
Right.
One thing that's amazing of that platform is they basically introduce you to all these different things that are happening in the world, people that are in need, charities that you can immerse yourself with and help out in a way. If you can't with money, you can maybe with your time,
Right.
volunteering and stuff like this. And that makes a difference too. It's not only about money. I understand we all, you know, we have different priorities in life and whatever, but you can maybe sometimes take a day out of the month and go volunteer, participate in something like this. So I'm really an advocate for children and for women. For women, I guess because we do live in a society that's filled with double standards, I think it's important as a woman to have a voice and to stand up for other women as much as I can. That doesn't mean that I'm a man hater because I definitely am not.
Thank you, Jesus.
I do want to find an amazing man one day and get married and have my babies. Like that is definitely,
Right.
you know, in the books for me. But because we're still kind of a minority in that sense, women make like 70 cents to the dollar for the same job in Canada, for example. I don't know the worldwide statistics, but so because of that, I feel if you have a platform because you've been lucky and blessed enough to participate in certain things in the entertainment industry, it gives you access to a platform where you can talk to people like today and you can bring things to people's attention that does matter, you know? So in my mind, if I can help in any way, or women that unfortunately, like for example, with the pandemic, the rise in like domestic violence went up because spending more time together, and women, like this is a real thing that's happening. And I think we need to talk about these things. We need to make sure that these things are eradicated, that we can all be respectful of each other, that we can have a healthy debate. We can talk about our own points, but in a respectful manner. And I'm against violence and I'm against all these horrible things that happen, you know?
Right. Let me ask you this: with your experience with being in the business for a while now, do you think that it's kind of a stigma in a way that women are being kind of put against each other in a way? Because I just it's like weird energy out there right now to where it's like because I never really understood why it's always, because it's already bad enough that like you said, women are kind of typecasted in a way, you know, have to go through so much in the industry. But I just feel like, do you think that that's strategically done, just from your perspective?
I do, because I'm a little bit of a nerd, so I read a lot. And anytime someone in history has tried to take over, whether it be Nazi Germany, whatever, it was always the divide and conquer tactics. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I feel like if patriarchy is to continue, the best strategy is to divide the women. make women be like, I'm worthy, you're not worthy.
Right.
And the thing is, we're all worthy. You're not going to be everybody's cup of tea, just like every man is not your cup of tea, but we're all worthy. So you should just live out your own truth and what you think is okay for you. And then the right man that is in alignment with that will come to you. You know what I mean? But it doesn't mean that someone that lives in a different way that I do is in the wrong. It's just they're probably going to attract a different type of guy. You know what I mean? But like there's no right or wrong answer. You should just live your own truth and do what makes you comfortable, what makes you feel good at the end of the day without hurting anyone else,
Absolutely. I love that. Let's give some shout outs right now. Give some people their flowers, man. You got a good team behind you. You got a great family behind you, and you have tons of fans that's behind you as well. So let's give some flowers out right now to all your loved ones and anybody that you want to shout out right now. Let's go on and give them some shout outs.
Okay. Well, my family's not big on social media. I'm like the only one in my family that does this whole social media thing, but I do want to shout out my sister. I'm actually going to see her in a couple of days, so I'm really happy.
Shout out, sis.
Shout out to my sister Elena. I'm going to see her on Wednesday. She has beautiful twin boys, Joaquin and Marco. They live in Spain, so I want to shout them out first and foremost. And then I want to just like shout out my team in PR. I actually own a PR company. It's called KW Publicists.
I love KW Publicists.
Yeah.
Man, I love your team. They are so cool.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's grown quite a bit. So it used to be me that was behind it 100%. And now I have other people working on the team as well, because I can't keep up with everything, but I'm still writing. Like I'll still do promotional press for people, but I also outsource it as well. So shout out to them.
Definitely.
Yesterday I had a cover shoot. I can't say for what magazine just yet. But I want to shout out.
You with that. You hit us with the teaser on that. I was trying to figure it out. I was like, wait a minute. But that was dope. It looked like it's going to be amazing though.
Oh, thank you.
I couldn't squeeze it out you, huh?
I shot for a magazine, and also I shot for 2 different brands. The brand I already posted, Colombiana Boutique. They're a denim brand, and it's for Latinas like me that have curves.
Right.
So it hugs your body very well. And they are on the sexier side. So my little behind the scenes video was a little bit sexy, but keep in mind, I'm a nerd at heart. This is the real me. But I'm kind of like Beyonce. I have that whole stash of fierce. Like Beyonce says that she has like another persona that comes out when she's performing. So that's kind of like,
okay.
Yes. I wanted to shout out Chris, who did my makeup yesterday. And Aria, who's the photographer. And yeah, just basically my family and all the fans that are keeping up and all the people that understand how the industry works, and they have nothing but good things to say about you. And I want to shout you out because you're amazing and you.
Oh, thank you so much. That means the world to me, just to be shout out. You know what I mean? Like it, because we work so hard to try to create amazing platforms and to shine light on people like yourself. And I just feel like it's so important, you know what I mean? Just to create some positive energy in this world filled with negativity and negative driven, and I just thought that it was important to connect with you and bring you on just to put some of that good energy back out there and inspire and show people that, with hard work, dedication, dreams do still come true. I know a lot of people don't dream anymore and don't have dreams anymore and all of this stuff or whatever. But
you can never stop dreaming. I feel like you can't kill your inner child. I feel like the most honest and authentic part of us is our inner child. It's like who you were before you were socialized, before stigma came to be, before you were taught all these bad things about the world. Right. Your inner child is the real you. So your inner child is a dreamer, and your inner child is the one that believes in you the most and thinks that you can go achieve your dreams no matter what. So I think that everyone should really, you need to write down your goals though. Once you write it down and it's on paper, then it kind of becomes real. And then you can just say, okay, if I want to achieve this within 5 years, what are the steps I have to take to do it? And then just focus an arrow on that and go do it, you know?
Right. I totally agree. And I mean, you're a living example of that. You know what I mean? And still got yet so many more amazing things to accomplish. And that alone is exciting, with seeing your visions and dreams and goals manifest right in front of you. And other people can feed off of that, with seeing it, happen for you is inspiration for others as well, to follow their dreams and follow your footsteps as well, and show that it can be done. So I definitely appreciate that. I got to ask you this. What would you say, though, has been the most challenging thing from your journey from beginning up until now? What would you say has been the most challenging thing for you that you can share?
Traveling, being far from my family. I know when you don't travel often, you think it's so exciting to travel.
Right.
But when all you do is travel and you live in hotels and you're always on a plane and you only get to hear your family member's voice on the phone, but you don't get to like hug them. Like, I love hugging my family and kissing them and being present with them. That's really difficult for me. Long flights are horrible for me because I have the worst jet lag. So all of this, like, you're like battling exhaustion, but then you're expected to be on your game when you have to go to a shoot or when you have to do anything. Like, for example, tomorrow I'm shooting 3 scenes for my demo reel. 2 are drama, 1 is comedy. So you have to switch it up within that same time frame. And I'm finishing up, like, to memorize the script and everything tonight. But I'm tired too, because I'm tired from yesterday. And as soon as I'm done tomorrow, on Wednesday, I'm getting on a flight as well, So it's kind of like, it's go, go, go. But you have to just keep in mind, like, all this sacrifice is going to be worth it in the end. And you believe that,
Absolutely. And up and coming, because I want to anything that we need to plug, what could we look forward to? I know you got a lot of things in the works. Else that you can share with us that we can look forward to?
I can't say the
unfortunately. Where's my Price is Right button that
I wish I could, but you guys can look forward to a couple of new brand collaborations that are coming out very soon. So that I can say, those ones are coming out. The magazine I can't talk about, and the roles that I'm being it's in the works right now.
She was about to slip it out, y'all. We almost got to slip it.
You're gonna see me on TV, but unfortunately I can't say yet.
Absolutely. Let's put those social platforms out there in ways that people can actually connect with you, find you, and look for you. I mean, you got a lot of stuff out there. Let's put them platforms out there.
Yeah. So basically, I'm really big on Instagram. I tried TikTok a couple of times, but for some reason, I don't know. It's not my thing that much.
Right.
But I'm really big on Instagram and Facebook. And then I'm restarting my YouTube because my YouTube actually got hacked.
Really?
Last year. Yeah.
Those damn hackers.
I know.
Yeah, they infamous right now. Seems like they turned it up to another level during COVID or something, man.
I'm telling you, I'm grateful though that it got hacked when I hadn't like built it up just yet. You know what I mean? Like, I was building it, but it wasn't huge yet, and then it got hacked. So I'm like, okay, I am gonna restart a YouTube, and I am gonna make it like super amazing. But this time, I'm gonna be so careful with like the 2-step verification and like all that. I don't want to get hacked. People try to hack me like on a daily basis, and it's
they come in. They I'm telling you, they're a specialist.
I know.
Man, you can't click no links or anything. If you don't know those people, don't click no links at all. I don't care.
In like nothing. I'm big on Instagram and Facebook, Twitter, and that's about it. And my handle, it's right there. You can see it. So
absolutely. And for all inspiring models or anybody that's trying to connect with your publicist company, can we put that information out there as well?
Yeah, of course. So the email is info@kwpublicist.com. The handle on social media is @kwpublicist, and the website is kwpublicist.com. Super easy, straightforward.
Absolutely. She kept it simple for us, y'all. Listen, for anybody that let me hit them with them last words. Anybody that may be, because you know, a lot has happened since COVID. A lot of people lost a lot of loved ones, people out of work, trying to shake back. People are depressed and going through a lot or whatever. Can you leave them with some uplifting words or anything encouraging that you could leave with them?
Yeah.
Last words.
I'm the type of person that I always try to see the positives in things. And I think even though with COVID, a lot of negatives have happened, and what you see and what you're bombarded with every day on the news is all the negative things.
Right.
I think you should see this as a time of a reset, a restart. It's a time where, because we kind of stepped down from all the things that we had on our plate, now when you come back, you get to choose what goes on that plate again. You don't have to start from all the things that were on. So now you get to be really mindful and only put on your plate like the things that really matter. And I think you should use this time to spend time with your family and your loved ones, because you never know. Like, you know, they could be there today and then tomorrow they're not. So yeah, just try to see things in a positive light. And if you have extra time right now because of COVID or whatever, then use it so that you do pursue your dreams, like stuff that you before didn't have time to look into or research or read or work towards or network with certain people through technology. Then now's your time to do that. So just try to look at the positives and stay motivated.
Absolutely.
I believe in all of you. I always say this, but I really do believe in all of you. And I think you can achieve anything that you put your mind to.
Right, Dora, I want to thank you so much. And for me and the Vibe team, Vibe Promotions, we want to say thank you, and we're wishing you more blessings and more success. And know that once you do the Vibe show, you are a part of the Vibe family. I know you see the whole Vibe team support you. We believe in you, and we are definitely rooting for you. So thank you, and you got to come back on here again.
I would love to. It would be my pleasure. Thank you guys so much.
Absolutely. It's the Vibe Show with my special guest, the very lovely Dora Rodriguez. Listen, guys, if you are not subscribed to the Vibe Show 97.9, shame on you. Make sure you hit that notification and stay tapped in for more exclusive interviews on the way. I love y'all. Y'all make sure y'all stay safe. Y'all know my slogan: more love, less hate. Me and Dora, we are out of here. Until next time, y'all stay safe. Enjoy the rest of your evening. It's the Vibe Show. Me and Dora, we out of here.